Tyrese, thanks for joining the show today. What is your first insight?
So thanks for having me. My first insight is going to be really just about how companies today are still using really archaic methods of social media marketing, really. So
And what's an example of an archaic social media marketing piece of content?
absolutely, yeah. So something which I see is quite archaic is businesses posting on social media. I'm not just talking about any post in general, but I'm talking about the posts which simply show a product or service and how it can help you. It's just boring. Sure, it gets a clear message across, but it's boring. I'm not going to stop scrolling on my phone to look at a picture of your product or someone using it because it's boring. It's clearly an advert. I don't want to watch adverts. That's why millions of people download ad blocker or sign up to YouTube Premium.
So let me ask you this though: how do you? I see a lot of it in D2C marketing when you're talking about a consumer good. Brands are pretty good, or at least better, at creating thumb-stopping content that people want to watch. It's more entertainment value to it. But then, what do you do if you're selling something that's B2B or a little more technical or just unsexy in general? How do you relate your brand and what you're selling to something that's interesting when the product itself might not be that interesting?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. It really is. But I think the trend is changing, and I think that's because we're getting more and more people that are attuned to the digital world in senior positions of marketing. Take myself. I'm 23 years old, and I'm the group head of marketing for a business that's nearly 100 million pounds a year. And those people, those marketers, are more attuned to the digital world, and they're finding new and innovative ways to hide the boring side of the content in fun and innovative, original ways. I mean, you can take, for example, Duolingo. I mean, that is B2C, but learning a language sounds pretty boring, to be fair. Or, Scrub Daddy, sponges, that's really boring. But they find really fun ways of marketing their products and their services through TikTok, Reels, and other social media platforms.
You know what? It's funny. Duolingo is one of my go-to examples because their TikTok is so good in how they use their mascot and how they just really jump on trends. And even if it almost doesn't matter what they were selling, they happen to be selling a language learning app, but their branding is so smart. And the sponge example also is a really good one. So it's funny. I want to ask you about this more in a second, but your age and your connection with culture, do you think that really, really helps you in your marketing role?
Yeah, I would say so, 100%. I'm already in that digital world. I'm able to identify trends straight away. I'm going to say, okay, well, everybody's doing this, or, before it becomes popular, I'm able to then put ideas and strategies forward saying, okay, this is trending. We should get on this before everybody starts doing it. So are we're the trendsetters. So uh, and that's what these businesses are doing now when they've got much younger marketing professionals within their ranks. They're able to jump on these trends straight away and really take advantage to the hype that is TikTok or Reels, etc.
Yeah, I've noticed that also. TikTok and Reels, especially, it's hard for someone that wasn't born and raised in that world. I don't mean literally born, but of native to those apps over the last 2-3 years. You really can't comprehend how fast trends pop up and how important it is to jump on them because it moves at such a speed. We're not talking about weeks or months here. We're talking about days and hours of time where those windows are so important and you need to be able to jump on them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. You have something interesting here that you told us ahead of time about an unusual tactic or strategy that you've used to succeed, and you talked about an example in the car industry. Can you speak a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, throughout the years I've been doing marketing, I've deployed lots of different and unusual tactics to achieve great results. I think one that stands out the most to me is when I worked in the automotive industry after I left Ford Motor Company or General Motors, I had this abundance of knowledge about what drives people to buy cars. So about 2 years ago, I was working with a luxury car dealership in the north of England. I was an executive there, and they wanted to reach more customers in the local area with video marketing. So I started making all these videos. They're informative and they focus on the car more than the company. Now, these videos were getting thousands of views, so much so I'd go to the club on a night out and I'd have guys and girls coming up to me. Oh, I've seen you on Instagram. I've seen you on Facebook, etc., etc. I even got a girl's phone number. It was very surreal. Yeah, never gonna forget that. But the trick of getting the trick to getting all these views is word of mouth. And now that's not an unusual method of marketing, but the way in which it was deployed was quite interesting, or at least I think so. So when I took these cars, and I'm talking Maseratis, Ferraris, Aston Martins, big old Range Rovers, SVRs, I would take them to this dingy town centre in this northern city to a local park. I would set up the camera, set the audio, read my script, and get recording. But you know what I'd do after filming? There'd be a small crowd of kids, teenagers, sometimes even older people walking their dogs. I would invite every single one of them to sit in the car, take a photo with the car, and sometimes I would even let them be a passenger whilst I drove it around the car park doing loops, donuts, whatever. Yeah. But every single time they'd follow the Instagram account, they'd put it on their social media, tell their friends, and I would invite them for a personal tour of the showroom. Some people showed up, some people didn't. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is it boosted our brand awareness, getting us thousands and thousands of views, and landing me with, girls' phone numbers. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
a part of the gig, huh?
yeah, the
Yeah,
benefit.
that's really interesting. And creating, I find that there's so much opportunity to create content, really out of this world content, using real life scenarios, these IRL opportunities and real life opportunities, especially when there's some candid moment that you can capture on camera. I mean, somebody going into a Maserati, probably like a once in a lifetime thing for a lot of people, especially if you're, a young kid. That's really, really cool. Is there a change or industry evolution that you're seeing that most people are not seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it's going back to what I said earlier on, and the only thing I'm seeing right now is the shift of businesses becoming more and more digitally focused, with Generation Z and Generation Y, millennials, taking the helm and steering the ships, which are businesses. They're becoming more and more attuned to the benefits of digital business practices. And I think what marketers have to do now is understand that they have to be on the ball and they have to create high quality original content every time, because everybody's making TikToks, everybody is making reels, everybody is doing everything kids were doing 5 years ago, because those 16, 17, 18-year-olds 5 years ago are now 21, 22, 23. I'm 23 right now, and I'm, like I said, I'm the head of marketing for a big business. If you want to impress me, a decision maker, it's going to take more than that standard cookie cutter content that a lot of businesses are still doing today. Marketers have to really shift, really have to make that shift to be really unique, relevant, and produce high quality content to stand out in today's world of business.
Well put. Tyrese, thank you so much for dropping your knowledge here today with all of our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been great to yeah, like you said, share my knowledge and hopefully help someone out there who's listening right now.
A lot of people. Cool. Thanks so much. So here, you can stop recording. That was great. That was really, really
Okay.
good.